Good evening and welcome to Metro Focus. I'm Rafael P. Roman. It's the day after the ouster of Hollywood heavyweight Harvey Weinstein from the film company that bears his name. The silence from the Hollywood community has finally broken regarding the disgraced mogul's swift fall from grace. All this after accusations of alleged sexual harassment came to light when a New York Times report revealed that Weinstein had reached legal settlements with at least 8 women over the years, and that he stands accused of many more allegations of sexual misconduct. Weinstein was a modern-day star maker, the contemporary version of the legendary studio heads of Hollywood's so-called golden age. When word broke of his sexual misconduct, there was initially an audible silence from the film industry's A-list. Slow to react, the chorus of condemnations is now rising. Veteran superstar George Clooney said, quote, "It's disturbing on a whole lot of levels. It's indefensible. That's the only word you can start with." And screen legend Meryl Streep, who once referred to Weinstein as God, added, "The disgraceful news about Harvey Weinstein has appalled those of us whose work he championed and those whose good and worthy causes he supported. One thing can be clarified, not everybody knew. But actress Glenn Close did know, and added this sobering note, quote, "I have been aware of the vague rumors that Harvey Weinstein had a pattern of behaving inappropriately around women. Harvey has always been decent to me, but now that the rumors are being substantiated, I feel angry and darkly sad." Lauren Sivan, a journalist who did not work for Weinstein, came forward with this shocking revelation about her experience with a film executive.
That's where he cornered me in this vestibule and leaned in and tried to kiss me, which I immediately rebuffed and said, whoa, whoa, whoa. I had no idea that that's what this was. I'm sorry, I have a very serious boyfriend and I'm not interested. And I thought it would end there. Mm-hmm. But that's when he blocked the entrance or exit for me and said, well, then just stand there and be quiet. It happened very quickly, and he immediately exposed himself and, began pleasuring himself. And I just stood there, dumbfounded.
And there is a political component to this story. Weinstein is a big donor to the Democratic Party and to many individual Democrats. And now there's a question of who will be giving back that campaign cash. So far, at least 11 Democrats have returned donations he made to their campaigns. As this plays out in New York and Hollywood, a women's advocacy group named Ultraviolet is playing President Trump's lewd comments about women caught on tape in the now infamous Access Hollywood interview with Billy Bush on a large screen at the National Mall near the White House.
I'm automatically attracted to beautiful. I just start kissing them, so it's automatically kissing. I don't even wait. And when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything. Whatever you want. Grab them by the...
I'm just saying. I know.
For a young journalist, Sivan said that speaking out about Weinstein for his alleged deplorable action was not an option.
But you have to understand, he was a titan in Hollywood. He could ruin people's careers if he didn't like you.
Sivan's feeling of helplessness when this happened 10 years ago echoes that of Gretchen Carlson's own experience early on in her career. Gretchen was a well-known Fox News host when she came forward with shocking evidence that Roger Ailes, the then president and CEO of the Fox News channel, was a serial harasser. It was her taped evidence against Ailes that led to a floodgate of women coming forward at Fox with shocking tales of behavior in that workplace. Gretchen Carlson will be here next Thursday with details about her life and the movement she has started, but her abuse didn't begin with Ailes. Listen to what Gretchen said about what she, like Lauren Sivan, was subjected to as a vulnerable young journalist.
I was a victim of sexual assault, sexual harassment.
Be as explicit as you are in the book.
I know, it's grisly, and it's relatively hard to talk about, but I decided in writing this book that if I'm going to do it, I'm going to be candid.
Yeah.
So here's what happened to me. I thought that this big-time executive in television was spending the whole day with me, making a bunch of calls for me because he wanted to help me. And maybe he did, but maybe he didn't, because when he was driving me home in the backseat of a car service, all of a sudden he was on top of me. And at 22 years old, I didn't know that was part of the deal. Right. I remember going up, I was staying with my friend from Stanford, and I got up to her apartment, and I was an absolute basket case, sobbing and saying, why would somebody do this to me, And then it happened again. I
The second
up.
one was even worse.
The second one was worse. I was in Los Angeles with a top PR guy. He's still in the business. And same thing happened in a car, except it was worse. I was in the front seat, and he took my head and he stuffed it
Wow.
in his crotch. And I couldn't breathe. And, you know, again, you're 22. What are you supposed to do?
What did you do?
Well, so I panicked, and I, asked him to stop. And I have to be honest with you that I don't remember if I stayed in the car with him or if I got out right then and there, because it was such a horrible experience. And so I understand how sometimes people don't have memory of certain events. And years later, I saw him.
The second guy.
In our offices. And I was already well established. I was already doing Fox and Friends, National Morning Show, and I saw him outside of my office, and I panicked. It goes to show you how an assault like that can affect you for the rest of your life.
So you never reported these guys when it happened?
Who
You were
would I have
22,
reported them?
Yeah, even as Miss America, somebody, then you would have been known as the Miss America who reported these cases, I guess.
Well, that's why I talk about it in the book, because I really want to bring a bigger national conversation for our young women. And
But do you regret not having done it, even though you're talking about it now, not having done that? Because obviously you weren't the first victim, and obviously more than likely you were not their last victim.
Right, but who would I have told?
Sure.
The thing is, I didn't have a place of employment then. When it happened to me again at my first job with a photographer who I worked with, then I actually had a place to go to. But I didn't want to right away. I was talked into reporting it.
Once again, Gretchen Carlson will be back on Metro Focus next Thursday night.